Once we complete our 11th and 12th education, we have various career options into which we can pursue our goals. And when I had done my 11th and 12th, after that I had an zeal for engineering, as every Indian parent forces on their children to. So we have multiple career options into which we can pursue engineering, such as computer science, electrical, electronics, mechanical, and civil engineering. And at this point, when I had to take a decision between like what is that stream of engineering into which I want to pursue, then there were varied options in my family itself. One side, my brother wants me to pursue computer science because he has done computer science engineering and he is satisfied with his stream. And on the other side, my dad wants me to pursue electronics and communication engineering because his colleagues told him that this stream of engineering has got very good scope. And on the other side, my mom wants me to do something special. She just said that कुछ भी कर लो but घर आते रहना. So there are multiple views on which my career was based, and these people had a say in my career. So confused with all these opinions, I started believing on only one thing, which is Google. And I understood that if I take a decision on my own with my calculations, it would be more true, to help me to go further in my career. So I got on searching in the Google what actually engineering is. Then I understood that engineering is nothing but problem solving. The roots of engineering has been, we can see the roots of engineering from the days where the man started solving the problems to ensure that he makes his life more comfortable. So nowadays we have fans, switches, lights, bulb. These are all the things or the objects which makes our lives comfortable. Previously, long years ago, during the mornings we have sunlight and during the nights we have no sunlight. So we have invented the light to ensure that we have comfort in our living. So similarly is a case with travel. So it requires a lot of patience and energy to travel from one place to another. So got it the invention of transport system. Now you know what is the level of impact that Hyperloop has made in the domain of transportation. So I understood that the importance of engineering is problem solving, and then I had a confusion that what is that stream of engineering and what are those problems solving which I would be happy. So my journey was oriented towards searching those problems which I had skill and those problems which makes me happy when I solve it. Then I had gone to the background of the skill set I had during my education of 11th and 12th, and I basically studied maths, physics, chemistry. And like when I look into these three subjects of maths, physics, chemistry, I told myself that I was enjoying while I was solving the problems of physics mostly. Say when there is a problem statement that a mass m is hanging from a height with the help of a spring and it is at an initial position. When we stretch the spring by distance x and if we leave it, what would happen? Say if there are three balls traveling at an angle of 120 degrees towards each other whose masses are 2m, m and m, and they collide, what happens? So I was enthusiastically in getting involved in these sort of problems because they help me to visualize the scenario and get me thinking what would happen if it is all like a process. I can imagine what the things were undergoing, and based on which I could apply the skills of maths and the basic laws of physics and solve the problems. So I thought this is my stream. Then I had contacted my brother and I took his opinion that this is my skill set, this is my opinion, and this is a field I think that would suit me. Then he said, just go for it. And I started my engineering journey in mechanical stream of engineering. Then once I entered college, there is a drastic change, and there are different skills of people that I had seen in my college. So to start with, what does a mechanical engineer do? After I completed my first year of engineering, I had understood that the surface level definition of a mechanical engineer is to develop a machine or a product to make life of human beings simpler. This is a process in which the mechanical engineer involves various specializations or into which mechanical engineering into, such as design, manufacturing, dynamics and control, and also thermal sciences. These are the various streams of mechanical engineering into which a student who wants to pursue mechanical engineering can go to. Say, first I would like to describe about the stream of design engineering in the mechanical engineering. So let us take an example that we want to design a chair. So what goes into designing? Designing has basically various subjects involving engineering drawing, computer aided modeling, and also strength of materials, design of machine elements, etc., and also the material science part. So if we want to design a chair, first we should know what is the purpose of designing a chair. Whether the chair is for relaxing, or whether the chair is for sitting in a classroom, or we want that chair to be very smart. Once we understand the motive for which the chair is being designed, then we go for specifications. Whether we want that chair to have a rotating wheels so that we can easily carry it, or whether that chair needs to be stationary, needs to be bolted. Based on these requirements, we design our products. And also we should be able to decide the material. There are so many materials that we can use for the chair designing. Say we have wooden chair, metal chairs, and etc. So based on our requirement, we choose the material which goes into the designing part. And the next we have manufacturing engineering, which is another stream of mechanical engineering. In manufacturing, it is all about converting our ideas and designs into a final product. Means converting our ideas into a realistic product which we can use in our daily lives. The phases through which this manufacturing happens involves an integration of human involvement, machine involvement, planning, and also multiple factors. There are different ways in which we can manufacture a product. Say for example, if we want to manufacture a toy, there are two types of manufacturing which I understood in the concepts of my mechanical engineering. One is additive manufacturing, the other one is machining, where material is removed. So if we want to make a structure such as a sphere, we can do additive manufacturing, which is 3D printing technology, where we lay up the layer by layer and construct the structures we want. In the other phase, we can do the material removing facility, where we take up extra material and cut out the part, remove the part and form the material which we wanted. Let's go back to the example which we had seen, which was a chair. So as a chair, it involves many other things such as armrests. These armrests, legs, every component is individual in its place, and these all individual components need to be assembled and thereby forming a chair. Say we have bolts, right, which forms a chair, and also cushion part, and also designing involves that we use different parts of different materials to ensure that it is of lesser weight, so that we can use it for the better purpose. So the manufacturing involves different people who will be working on the assembly of these components, and also taking the product right from the raw material side to the finished products through the supply chain. This concept of supply chain also comes under the stream of manufacturing engineering, and this stream is a combination of techno and commercial, where it involves business interactions also. Next, we have dynamic control systems. This stream of engineering deals basically with that part of products of mechanical engineering which involves movement. Coming to the dynamics and control engineering, let us take an example of how engine works. Engine has various components through which it powers the vehicle, right? So if we take an example of engine, it has got a crankshaft to which this piston rod is connected, and when the crankshaft rotates, it gives the piston to move in linear motion while the crankshaft is rotating in circular motion or rotational motion. So there are different ways in which we can transfer motion, which comes in the dynamics part. And apart from this, we have thermal sciences stream, which involves basic study of thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, and heat mass transfer. Where, for example, we use these concepts when we use refrigerators, ACs in our home appliances, and also its application can be found in room heaters and also washing machines, etc. And apart from this, the application of fluid mechanics can be also dealt with the concepts of CFD, where, for example, there is a car or F1 race car which is going through at a speed of 200 km per hour, and this car, how it the computer science engineer codes it, and the electronics and communication engineer ensures that there is a network through which we can register or book a car, and a mechanical engineer is involved in developing that automobile which helps us to transfer, from one place to another place. So all the streams of engineering comes and works together to produce a service or a product. What I've observed is that there are two ways in which we can pursue a career in mechanical engineering. One is research oriented, the other one is industry oriented. When you are into research oriented, you are more focused towards developing something new, which involves you to work with professors, research oriented job. When you are into industrial oriented mode of being a mechanical engineer, I advise you to go and participate in these kind of clubs and chapters. For example, there was one other team in our university which used to build aircrafts and etc. And there was one other team from civil engineering. They used to build boats and take part in competitions at an international level. And there was some other teams which were oriented towards improving the efficiency of engine. So there are different competitions which are oriented towards different aspects of mechanical engineering. And if you are looking towards application, working, the application side of mechanical engineering, I advised you to go and get involved in these sort of teams. And if you are, looking towards more research-oriented role, I advise you to go and participate with the professors who are, deeply into the research activities. Well, there are different aspects. When you choose a design engineering, you won't be that much exposed to the factory environment, etc. And being a mechanical engineer, the course itself requires you to, work on shop floor and work on the shop floor with the machines, which involves you getting dirty with grease, oil, etc. So you should be ready for that to get your hands dirty with the machines. And also you should have this critical thinking approach where it involves you to go beyond what is there with this. So you should always try to improve the systems which we already have. On the same side, you should also learn the technology which is trending. As I said before, gone are those days it is only made of just pulleys, drives, gears, etc. So it requires you to be on par with the technology, and automation is in trending. There is concept of industry 4.0 where different things talk with each other and perform a function. So it is a must that a mechanical engineer should be aware of all these concepts, and he should be equipped so that he is ready for the industry. So this is from my side towards mechanical engineering.